The next thing we want to draw is the floor. So here, if we orbit underneath, we can still see all of the information that we need to reference. And here, take the rectangle tool, draw a big old rectangle that covers up the whole footprint of the building. You can do this a couple of different ways. I like to just, usually in SketchUp, I like to just draw an object and then come back and worry about fine-tuning it afterwards. It's easier with the rectangle tool to just draw a big rectangle and then come back with push-pull and adjust things. So now that we've started, we can take push-pull and pull our floor down 6 inches to start out with. That's just going to be our basic slab to start out. Then use push-pull again to tweak the floor so that it lines up perfectly to the outside of our exterior walls. Come back over. Now with the pencil tool, I can just draw a little pencil line down along the blue axis direction to divide that little side surface of the foundation so that I can pull it out across the next room there. And here, even though typically I don't recommend using the pencil tool for all that much, in cases like this, it sometimes is actually the fastest thing to do, is to just retrace the outside of that garage building to get the rest of the foundation to fill in. The reason I don't like using the pencil tool is it's sort of like a just in case kind of a thing. Just in case the plan that I've brought into SketchUp isn't aligned perfectly to the axes, if I use the pencil tool to trace over it, I'm inheriting all of those misalignments. I'd prefer to use tools like the rectangle tool and push-pull, which will guarantee that the objects in the SketchUp drawing are drawn to the proper alignment, so they're drawn according to the axes in the model. Using the rectangle tool and push-pull will then sort of compensate for any inaccuracies that there might be in the CAD drawing. In this case, I know that this part of the CAD drawing is accurate, so I can just trace over it with the pencil tool and then use push-pull to get the thickness of that part of the slab. Again, if I go into X-ray view mode, here I have it set as a keyboard shortcut to the letter X. I can take the eraser tool, which I have set to the letter E, and then erase the extra edges that are dividing the slab up into a couple of pieces. Turn X-ray off, just hit X again, or if you don't have it set as a keyboard shortcut, you've got the toggle up in the display menu bar. Good start for the floor. Next thing I want to do is grab the offset tool and offset the edges of the bottom of the surface of the floor once. I'm going to type in number 12 and hit enter to offset the edges 12 inches first, then hover over the surface and offset the edges again. This time type in 6 and hit enter to offset the edges 6 inches. Now if you take the select tool and select the outside surface, then grab the move tool and tap the command key on a Mac or the option key on a PC, and that will give you the option for auto fold. And with auto fold, you can actually move that outside surface straight down, type in the number 6 and hit enter to move it down 6 inches, and that'll give us a nice little 45-degree bevel for the footing of our foundation. From here I can take push-pull and pull that surface down with push-pull another 6 inches, and that'll give us the last little part of our foundation. If I just take the section tool real quick to click on that, just to show you the profile of the foundation that we've just drawn. So pretty standard little detail. And again, we did that by offsetting 12 inches in the first time, 6 inches in the second time, then the move tool with auto fold to get the outside surface down, then push-pull down another 6 inches just to get that little bottom part of the footing. Don't need the section plane anymore. Just put that in there so you could see what we had done. Now that we've got the floor drawn, want to take the select tool, triple click on the floor, right click, make group. Now I have make group set as a keyboard shortcut, and probably one of the most common mouse sequence keyboard shortcut maneuvers that I'm constantly using is triple click Apple G or Control G. And that's just the quick process for me. If I triple click on an object, Apple G or Control G will turn that into a group. Now we need a layer for that group. We can go over to the layers palette, type in floor, hit enter, and then in entity info, we can assign the floor to the floor layer.